Is there an afterlife in Valorant's lore? Well, today when we take a look at every resurrection voice line in Valorant, it may suggest that there is one. Some incredibly specific ones like Cypher's shows us that he thinks he saw his family in that short time between his death in battle and the resurrection that Sage does to bring him back to life. While others like Fade and Phoenix are just funny to listen to and either finds the whole coming back to life thing fascinating or just plain weird. One thing I do want to say is that each agent likely has a different idea or belief of what an afterlife is. After all, the Valorant protocol has a wide range of cultures all around the world that likely believe in different religions, if they do choose to believe in one. Let's first start off with the newest agent in Valorant added, Harbor.
Back in business.
Yeah, Harbor's is about as generic as these resurrection voice lines come. No crazy hype or questioning what in the world just happened. He's just ready to get back to battle and accomplish whatever mission he was trying to complete before he rudely died from an enemy. Next up is Fade, and her resurrection voice line is just hilarious to me. Fade seems like she's annoyed yet amazed about what just happened and kind of reminds me of when my parents used to wake me up out of bed.
I'm up, shit.
So far we have two agents that have kind of like simple or yet funny reactions to, well, coming back to life. Nothing crazy too far yet. Let's see if Neon is any different.
That sucked.
Of course, in Neon's kind of sassy attitude she shows us sometimes, she says that coming back to life sucked. It makes me kind of wonder that maybe when Sage reses someone that it is a very uncomfortable feeling while she does it. Or do you think Neon said it sucks that she died and maybe the pain that went along with that? Either way though, Neon does not look like a fan about coming back to life. Oh, I can't wait to see what Chambers is all about. I wonder if he's going to say something along the lines of, at least I still look good, or time to make a fortune again. We know Chambers all about his looks and financial status.
That was unpleasant.
So maybe this does tie into Neon's voice line where she says that sucked. So maybe the act of your quote-unquote soul coming back into your deceased body is a really uncomfortable feeling. Again, this could just be that it was just unpleasant dying. But so far, there's two agents saying that they didn't like the feeling of coming back to life. KO pulls a Fortnite reboot card on us whenever Sage reses him. Like most things KO says, it's either got a little sass or appreciation for something.
Thanks for the reboot.
Like a computer restarting, he just says thanks for Sage doing what she does best. Nothing crazy here, let's move on. Now we have Astra, and this is the first time we see someone talking about the afterlife, or at least something resembling that in Valorant's lore, in this video. I should say that it could be that Astra is just like joking with us here, especially with the laugh you'll hear at the end of the voice line.
My ancestors say what's up?
But it does make me wonder if Astra really did see her lost ancestors of her past. I'm sure that would be an extremely weird conversation, just chatting it up with your great grandma, just to be ripped out of there and thrown back into a 1v2 clutch scenario with the spike down because Sage was too scared to defuse the spike herself. Yoru is up next, and this is honestly just a funny one to me. In typical Yoru fashion, he's pissed that he died. He wants to get revenge for the enemy that killed him, and looks like it's like his top priority now.
Who killed me? They're dead.
It's so funny to me because this is exactly how I'd picture Yoru reacting when coming back to life. Straight up, just trying to make sure the person who got him gets what he has coming. I was almost expecting to see Yoru say something about his ancestors like Astra too. Maybe when Yoru's story gets a little more fleshed out, Riot may update the voice line to resemble something about his ancestors. Who knows? Skies is an interesting one if you ask me. I'm really not so sure what she means when she says her resurrection voice line. Does she mean that her new life she has gotten feels different from her past?
Wait, this feels different.
Maybe Sky is sensing that something just doesn't feel right when she's rezzed. Could that famous voice line Omen says to Sage questioning where Sage gets her rezzing powers from have anything to do with this?
Sage, the life you give. Do you ever wonder where it's taken from?
We know that Sky has a deep connection with nature and can sense when things are wrong. She even says this to Omen when he teleports, which shows us she may be able to track life forces around her.
Omen, when you teleport, I don't know, sometimes I lose you. Does that make sense?
Could all of this mean that Sage's new life she gives to people aren't exactly the same that they used to have? This is just a theory, so take this with a grain of salt, but what if Sage unknowingly uses her powers in a way where she steals a soul or energy from people in an alternate universe and gives it to whoever she's trying to res? It's an interesting thing to think about for sure. Breaches is pretty on par for his character, although sometimes it feels like he is wanting others to recognize him more, like in his clutch voice lines, while other times he's got a kiss of arrogance.
Of course you still need me.
Yeah, if I'm being real, there isn't too much with Breaches, guys. So yeah, let's just go ahead and move on. Raze is up next, and I was just totally expecting her to go crazy with excitement to be able to blow stuff up again. We know Raze is incredibly reckless and loves to just vibe around. She likes to be a part of things, and apparently when she dies, she wants to catch up on what she missed.
So what'd I miss?
I think raises could have been elevated a little bit more with like more hype and excitement when it comes to resurrection voice lines, and it would fit her explosive character a little bit more in my opinion, but I still like this voice line though. Next is Reyna. It's a pretty basic one on the surface, but may have a little more meaning if you think about it a bit more.
Back where I belong.
So this can very well just be a simple voice line with Reyna being glad on coming back to the land of the living, but perhaps for the short time she was dead, she was somewhere that she didn't like and didn't belong. She seems relieved to be alive again. I mean, I sure would too, if I'm being honest. I'm probably looking too far into this, but let me know what you guys think. Next, we have Jet. And to be honest, guys, I can't really tell what Jet is feeling when she gets rezzed. Like, is she happy, relieved, annoyed, amazed, or interested on what just happened? I just can't tell.
Cool.
Like, what does she mean cool? Like, if I just came back to life, I'd be having a lot more emotions than a simple sigh and saying cool. I just love Jet's personality sometimes. It's just too funny. Phoenix is another hilarious one for me with the same vibes I was like kind of expecting and hoping for with raises.
Yo, you can do that too.
Like, that's what I'm talking about. Look how hyped up Phoenix is to get resurrected by Sage. I will say, though, it is a little odd that he is acting so surprised that Sage just revived him. Like, I'm pretty sure that should be, like, common knowledge throughout the Valorant protocol when it comes to everyone knowing Sage has the powers to save people, right? Well, anyways, I think it's great that Phoenix is still thrilled to see that he didn't even have to use his ultimate and still came back to life. Oddly enough, Sage is up next. So at first I was stunned and, like, kind of taken back. Like, wait, why does Sage have resurrection voice lines of her own? Because, like, I don't know, she's like the one doing the reviving, right? I had to sit there for a minute and think about in what scenario Sage possibly could be revived. And then I was like, oh wait, duh, replication or whatever that game mode is where you have like a ton of the same agents on the same team. I only really played comp, so I totally forgot about that. So that's why Sage has a res voice line. Here it is.
So that's what it feels like.
I also remember now that I did use this voice line for one of Sage's sussy voice lines in my every sus voice line in Valorant video I made. It shows all the voice lines every agent has that can be taken in a sus context, or all the voice lines that have swear words in them. If you want a good laugh related to Valorant, I suggest you check out the video. It's pretty funny. Next is Sova, and I was not expecting him to have two voice lines whenever he gets rezzed. One is a little joke he makes, while the other is a very nice and humble thank you to Sage for being oh so kind for saving him.
They should have dug a deeper grave. Thank you.
I like the first one a lot because we never really see Sova joking around all that time very much. He does have some voice signs where he's just being a little goofball, but most of the time he's just like very serious. And of course, since he is a good person, he thanks Sage too. Nice to see. Next is our boy Cypher with his voice line that drew the inspiration for this video.
For a moment, I saw them.
This is, of course, in reference to his family that presumably died. It's a pretty sad story for Valorant's lore, but yeah, Cypher's family is dead. We don't know what happened to them, but a particular person named Nora was someone Cypher loved very much. This could be his daughter if he had one, or his wife. We're not so sure. One could argue that Cypher's brain was playing tricks on him in the final seconds of his death or the beginning stages of Sage's resurrection, and that's why he thought he saw his family. Or the lore of Valorant has an afterlife maybe, and he was almost about to see his family again. What are your thoughts? Our next agent is Killjoy. Her voice line is her being amazed and saying it's crazy how all this is happening. Killjoy is all about taking apart and learning everything there is to offer about any given subject. Also, Killjoy has a very outgoing personality and easily expresses herself, with letting her German slip through a little bit here and there in her voice lines, perfectly shown in her res voice line.
Phew, Heilige Strohsack, this is crazy.
Agent number 3 on the protocol is Omen. I'm actually a little confused on what exactly Omen means when he says this, because as far as we know, guys, can Omen like even die? Remember that he rips his shadowy body apart and can reform it again into another location whenever he wants. So does a bullet hitting him actually end his life, or does it kind of like stun Omen for a bit before he regains himself again?
I let go for a second.
See what I mean? It sounds like Omen is saying that he died because he let go of his focus to keep himself together for only a short amount of time. What do you guys think about this? Any better interpretations you could come up with? Next is Viper, and her voice line kind of takes us back to what we were saying earlier in the video with the awkward or uncomfortable feeling an agent gets when getting rezzed by Sage. Viper, being the scientist that she is, of course would like to record any data she can about the experience.
Fascinating. I must record this feeling.
That's a good handful of agents now that have said something along the lines of like a weird feeling or a awkward or uncomfortable feeling happening when getting rezzed. The last agent on the protocol for today's video is the stubborn Brimstone. He's a man that knows what he wants and will get it done when he wants to do it. And what doesn't he want to do right now? Die.
Ain't my time.
So sounds like Brim believes that when his time is up, it's up. But as long as Sage is around and there's a mission or team to look after, he ain't going anywhere anytime soon. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and let me know what your thoughts are about some of these agent voice lines in the comments below. I had a fun time making this, so make sure to leave a like and subscribe to notifications if you're new. Now with all that being said, Jeppy out.